Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Today, we're going to be talking about NCAA college football and Auburn in particular, whether you want to call them the Auburn Tigers or the Auburn War Eagles. It doesn't matter. Even they don't know what they are, so you can call them either one. But today we're going to be discussing their 2021 college football season and what I think they're going to do. Now, if you go back and watch, we've already did over-unders on the 2021 football season for Florida State and Georgia Tech and Miami in the ACC and South Carolina and Tennessee in the SEC. So I figured today it was time for another SEC team, which is why we're going to do Auburn. I'm trying to do not necessarily the lower half or the lower tier teams of the conference, but the teams where I feel like not much is going to change between now and July or now and August. And I see their record now being the same as I'll see their record as I go back and do this in July or August, whereas some of the higher profile teams might even get better during summer drills. Hayes Paisley, glad you're here. I'm not a Auburn fan either, but I'm trying to do over-unders for every team in the ACC and the SEC one at a time before the season gets here. Today, I've chosen Auburn. And as I've said before, the reason why I'm doing teams in the ACC and the SEC is because here in the South, almost every college football fan that I know likes either a team in the ACC or a team in the SEC. I know one, hey, Marcus, glad you're here. I know one person in particular that likes Oregon, and that's the only other team in this area that I know personally anybody that likes outside of somebody in the ACC or the SEC. So unless somebody gets on here and comments for me to do an over-under on a certain team, I'm going to stick with the ACC and the SEC because that's the teams in this area that everybody likes. And those are the conferences in this area that everybody keeps up with and watches. So like I said, unless somebody comments about somebody else, those are the conferences and the teams that I'll be sticking with up until football season. Now, when football season gets here and it becomes game day or close to game day and we're going over teams and schedules, I might talk about another team where they're going to win that particular game, but I'm not going to spend entire segments on those teams unless somebody asks me to. So since we're doing the ACC and the SEC, and we've had 3 in the ACC and 2 in the SEC, I decided today was time to get back to the SEC and do my prediction for Auburn. And me personally, I don't think Brian Harsin was the right choice. Maybe I'm wrong. He may end up being a great coach, but I thought Gus Malzahn was a great coach. Me personally, I think Auburn is the toughest job in America on a consistent basis. It's the only team in America that has to play Alabama and Georgia every single year. No questions asked. Those 2 teams are going to be on their schedule every single year, and he still managed to win 8 games every single year. But this day and time in college football, that wasn't enough, so they fired him. And I don't believe Brian Harsin was the right choice. I think they made that choice mainly for money reasons because I remember Boise State being a perennial powerhouse, and then they've slowly but surely gotten worse every year under under Brian Harsin. And if I don't think Brian Harsin can win at Boise State and keep them being a 10-win team, what makes me think Brian Harsin can go to Auburn and make them a 10-win team? I just don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I just don't see it. But, of course, the first couple of years he's going to have Gus Malzahn's talent for the most part. So if he wins, they're going to say it's because he had Malzahn's players. If he loses, people are going to say it's because he had Malzahn's players. So we'll wait and see. But me personally, I don't think he was the right choice. I think it was financial reasons, but we'll find out. But if you're an Auburn fan or know someone who is, tell me in the comments if you think I'm right or not, and let me know if you agree with what I'm going to say about their 2021 football season. I'm still not sure Bo Nix is going to be their starting quarterback. There was talk when Malzahn got fired that Nix was going to transfer, but he's still there for now. I think he'll stay. But they've got a big-time quarterback coming in named Davis, and Davis and Nix are going to battle it out all year long. So I'm still not sure that Bo Nix is going to be their starting quarterback. I don't think he will be. I never was a big fan of Bo Nix, but maybe I'll be wrong, and maybe he'll be their starting quarterback. But if we look at Auburn's schedule, they open up on September the 4th against Akron. They play all 4 non-conference games back-to-back and then 8 straight conference games. And they're off after week number 7. So they'll have 7 games the bye week and 5 more games. And we know they'll wrap it up last game of the season against Alabama in the Iron Bowl. We know that game is always the last game. But the opening game, as I said, is against Akron. And their other 3 non-conference games are Alabama State, Penn State, and Georgia State. And then they'll kick off conference play in week 5 against LSU. Now, me personally, when I look at their schedule, I've got them winning against Akron, Alabama State, and Georgia State. And then I think they'll beat Arkansas. I think they'll beat Mississippi State, and I think they'll beat South Carolina, because I think South Carolina is just going to be flat out just awful. So I'll give Auburn those 6 wins. I think they're going to lose non-conference to Penn State, and then they're going to lose to LSU. They're going to lose to Georgia, and they're going to lose to Alabama. So that's 6 wins and 4 losses. And then the 2 swing games to me are Ole Miss and Texas A&M. I do think they'll win one of those games. I'm not sure which one they'll win. They may win both. They may lose both, but I don't think they're good enough to win both of those games. But I think they're good enough to win one of them. So I'll give them a 1-1 record there. If they beat Ole Miss, they'll lose to A&M. If they lose to Ole Miss, they'll beat A&M. So I'm going to say Auburn is going to go 3-1 out of conference, 4-4 in the conference, 7-5 overall, with their 1 non-conference loss being to Penn State. I just don't see them beating Penn State. Penn State's been a pretty good team the last couple of years, and Auburn going through so many changes, including still maybe yet a quarterback, and they're playing Penn State in week 3. I just don't think they'll win that game. Now, if they were playing Penn State later on in the season, maybe so, but that early in the season, I don't think they will. So I'm going to say Auburn goes 4-4 in the SEC, 7-5 overall, with their 1 non-conference loss being to Penn State. Let me know what you think, whether or not you agree with me. Now, of course, we know next weekend, actually starting Thursday night and going all weekend, is the NFL draft. So next Friday, we'll probably come on here and talk about maybe not the entire first round, but at least the big-time players that everybody knows of in the first round. Now, of course, the rumor is Trevor Lawrence is going to go number 1. It's not official. Some say he is, some say he's not. So I really can't say for sure that he's going to be number 1, but that's the rumor anyway. But if you're an NFL fan or just a fan of the draft overall, or a certain player or watching certain players, next Friday we'll probably go over the first round of the NFL draft. We're not going to come on here every single day and do all 7 rounds of the draft, but I feel like most of the key players from college football usually go in the first round of the draft. So next Friday, maybe we'll cover the first round of the NFL draft. And don't forget, if you're a pro wrestling fan, Rhino is coming to the Gray Bell auction, which is located at 1681 Shirley Road in Royston, Georgia, on Saturday, May 1st. So if you don't have any plans, not for tomorrow, but for next Saturday, plan on coming out and seeing Rhino in Royston, Georgia at Gray Bell auction at 1681 Shirley Road next Saturday night. Bell time will be 7 o'clock, and yours truly will be there to be the referee. And I don't mean to brag, but cashiers are always checking me out. And that is today's dad joke of the day. I hope you enjoyed that dad joke of the day. And thank you so much, Paisley, and thank you so much, Marcus, for chiming in on our chat. I always look forward to all the responses we get on our live feeds. That's why I enjoy going live, just so I can get some responses and know that you guys are always out there watching. Hope you enjoyed that dad joke. And if you like this video, please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're a football fan or know someone who is, tell them to watch this video and let me know if they agree with me or not that I've got Auburn going 4-4 in the SEC, 7-5 overall. I think their conference losses are going to be to LSU, Georgia, and Alabama. And then between Ole Miss and A&M, they're going to lose one of those two, and they're going to win one of those two. In non-conference, they're going to lose to Penn State in week number 3 of the season. But until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.